Onto the football field and marches their way through the line of cheerleaders. We would like to welcome you all to tonight's broadcast. I'm Bernie Picanisco along with Joe Cabral and John Carchidi. And as we said, tonight is a big game for the New Bedford High School Whalers. Both teams
at the 25-yard line, taken by Derek Kirby. Kirby now at his own 40, breaks a tackle nearly to midfield, finally brought down at the New Bedford 46-yard line. The Whalers will start off with fine field position from their own 46-yard line.
Well, not bad field position to get started with. You see Coach Wayne Hamlet surveying the situation. And, of course, the Whalers will go on offense. And limping off the field for New Bedford right after the kick, number 79, Danny Alberto.
He's a starting guard, Bernie, for the Whalers, so this forces New Bedford to go to a substitution immediately. That's Shane Marquez, a 6-foot, 180-pound sophomore, into the Whalers starting lineup. Ryan Walsh at quarterback, Kirby and Brito behind him in the eye. The Balistracci brothers, or check that, one of the Balistracci brothers, and Guido Cucci flanked wide right. The handoff to Jeff Brito. He's brought down for a loss on the play of about 3. Number 76 for Barnstable, Ed Reedy with a tackle.
Yeah, Reedy got in there and made the tackle right away, but what was really noticeable was the fact that number 75 for the New Bedford High School Whalers, Lee Chase, on that particular play missed his block, and Brito was met right at the line of scrimmage and was nailed.
That sets up a 2nd and about 13 for New Bedford. Ryan Walsh at quarterback with a wide receiver screen to Balistracci. He stumbles at the 45, going down at about the 46. That brings the Whalers back. Evening. We have a sophomore quarterback, number 16, Greg Hill, calling the plays here this evening for Barnstable. With an eye set behind him, number 1, Clinton Brown, the tailback, with the handoff off of left tackle. Not much on the play, a gain of about 2.
Be curious to see how good Barnstable's running game is tonight. They graduated a phenomenal back last year. Mr. Gomes led them all the way, I believe all the way to the Super Bowl. He was pretty much unstoppable, although New Bedford did a decent job of stopping him last year, and thus were able to win the game. It will be interesting to see how they've replaced Mr. Gomes.
And we expect to see a lot of number 1, Clinton Brown, tonight. He's starting at tailback, a 5'9", 170-pound junior. Here's the handoff again to Brown. He breaks it outside left tackle. Now down the left sideline at the 40, at the 50. He's not going to be caught. At the 30, at the 20, at the 10, at the 5. Amazing touchdown.
Well, that's an 82-yard touchdown run by Clinton Brown as he's mobbed in the end zone by his teammates. And as we were about to say, John, when you were talking about their running game, this is a young man who's been playing pretty much of a slot back. He's been catching passes. He's been going out for passes. He's been their best receiver. And when I asked Spanky DeManch, you put him in the backfield tonight, is there a reason for that? He said, yeah, with a rookie quarterback, I intend to run his butt off all night long. So he just ran his butt off for 82 yards and a touchdown.
We talked about the big play and how much it's killed New Bedford thus far this season. Barnstable did a fantastic job sealing off the left side of the line, and there was nobody over there for New Bedford.
And now Barnstable with the extra point attempt. The kick is up, and it is good. Barnstable with a 7-0 lead here early in the first quarter.
This is a very critical game for the Whalers. This is a very critical game for the Whalers, and you got to get these young psyches feeling a lot better about themselves.
Acker with sort of a pooch kick taken by Balistracci at the right sideline. He makes it up to New Bedford's 41-yard line. The Whalers with their 2nd possession of the first quarter, and they'll start off at their own 42.
Well, once again, some pretty good field positions. The kick was a short kick, what you call a pooch kick, and really not meant to drive anybody back on the other goal line. So they do get good field position to start their 2nd series of downs.
Happy to see Danny Alberto back out. Here's the young man who limped off after the kickoff. Happy to see him out there. They're going to need him to establish this running game.
Walsh with Kirby and Brito, the tailback, taking the pitch from Walsh to the left, the sideline, bounced out of bounds finally But the Whalers' most successful play so far here this evening, a gain of 5 for Brito, setting up New Bedford with a second, and the long 5, short 6.
Very important that Jeff Brito get out there and be the leader. When we were on the field earlier tonight, I asked Wayne Hamlet, I said, is there a leader down here? And this is one of the things the young team needs, is somebody they can look up to. He said, if we have a leader, it's got to be Jeff Brito, because he's had the experience, he's played the game, and the kids do look up to him. So very important that he makes some plays tonight.
We have Mark Balistracci flanked wide right, and Tom to the left. The pitch to Brito, the option. The Whalers tried to go to the same well twice in a row, and this time not successful at all. New Bedford pinched way back to their own 40, a loss of about 9 on the play, setting up a long 3rd and 13.
Well, they went to the same play as you said, Joe. They ran it on the opposite side of the field. They had gone left with the first sweep. They came right that time, but the offensive line on the right side broke down. The defense came in and just gang tackled them in the backfield for the second time tonight.
Let's see what the Whalers have here. As for the first time this evening, they're in a pro set, split backs, with Balistracci to the right, Cucci to the left. There's a flag on the play. Prior to the snap, it will be on New Bedford. Illegal procedure on the Whalers. That'll be a 5-yard mark-off, setting the Whalers up back at their own 35-yard line, and a long 3rd and about 18.
This is a very big offensive line for the Whalers. We've mentioned this in the previous games. They're very big, but they're very young. Not a whole lot of varsity experience, so it's not too surprising to see little mistakes like that.
Tom Simmons checking in at tailback for Jeff Brito. He goes in the slot left. Walsh with Kirby, offset left. Ryan Walsh rolling to his left, looking long and deep for Balistracci, just off his fingertips. Mark Balistracci nearly with a circus catch at the Barnstable 25-yard line. The ball does fall, however, incomplete. New Bedford will have to punt.
Well, as they come back to the huddle now to punt, this is 2 third down opportunities, 2 third down conversions that did not happen, so they're 0 for 2 in trying to complete passes on that 3rd down play.
A well-thrown ball, Bernie, by Ryan Walsh, just off the fingertips of the outstretched arms of Mark Balistracci. Nonetheless, New Bedford will have to punt, a 4th and 18, and Jonathan Costa back to punt for the Whalers. Back to return the kick for Barnstable. It's the ever-dangerous Clinton Brown. And the ball tumbling down toward Brown. He lets it hit the ground and bounces down at about the 30-yard line as it's touched there by Mark Balistracci. A 1st and 10 from their own 30. A 1st and 10 from their own 33. Here's Greg Hill at quarterback, giving to Brown off of right tackle, brought down immediately by Derek Kirby, and no gain on the play.
Kirby, the captain, only 5'7", 180 pounds, but he's a bulldog. He finds a way to make the play.
Well, oddly enough, on the first series, guys, New Bedford had the ball for 3 downs and a punt, took 1 minute and 34 seconds off the clock. In the second series, they had it for 3 downs and a punt and took 1 minute and 34 seconds off the clock.
An I formation behind Hill. Motion by number 79 for Barnstable. We've called his name several times here this evening. He's the kicker as well as the offensive left tackle, Darrell Acker, a 6'1", 280-pound senior for Barnstable. The Red Raiders pushed back 5 yards on the penalty. A 2nd and 15 for Barnstable.
Well, each team now has been penalized once for 5 yards.
The fake handoff, no, instead it is given to Clinton Brown. Takes it off left tackle, breaks a couple of tackles, but still a short gain on the play, about 3. Number 24, Tom Simmons with the tackle for the Whalers. And that'll leave Barnstable with a long 3rd and 12.
Well, you see Clinton Brown on your screen there, number 1, and of course he's 5'9", 170 pounds. And talking with Spanky Demanch earlier, I said, is he a strong runner inside? Is his best strength outside? I mean, where would you like to see this guy run the football? And he said, you know what? He says he's not big, but he really runs hard inside.
the fullback Justin Waskowitz directly behind.
Well, they're not going to throw the football too much tonight because I asked Spanky that, and he said with a young quarterback, we're going to run the ball a lot. That's why Brown's back there.
Here's Walsh, dropping straight back, looking long and deep for Mark Balistracci. He's open. He has it. He's at the 20. He's at the 15, 10, 5. Amazing touchdown, Whalers.
All right, there you go. Just like that, quick strike action by New Bedford. They start on their own 39-yard line, and they go 61 yards on one play, a pass play, from Walsh to Balistracci, a combination that we've heard over the years, only they were the two brothers, and these young men getting it done with to bring New Bedford back here to within 1 point.
That was a beautifully thrown ball. It was right. Only Balistracci could catch that ball. The defender could not get that ball. It was a perfect spiral, perfectly placed.
Bernie, they saw something on that 3rd and long when the ball went just over the fingertips of Mark Balistracci, and they came right back to the fly pattern on 1st and 10. A touchdown for the Whalers, and if Kyle Kim can put this one through the uprights, we'll have a 7-all game with 4:32 left in the first quarter. The kick is up, and it is good. Kyle Kim is successful. Number 18. Number 18, Anton Panini. Here's Brown down the right sideline. Brought down at his own 36. Branstable will set up shop there at their own 36-yard line. Their 3rd possession here in the first quarter. It is a 1st and 10 for Branstable.
All right, so this will.
Greg Hill at quarterback for Branstable. I set behind him. The give to Clinton Brown. Off right tackle Brown for a gain of about 8 on the play. Number 53.
Rushing on the evening.
We could have a big evening from Clinton Brown. Here's the underneath handoff. This time, however, from Hill to the fullback. Number 43 for Branstable. That's Patrick Colborne. He's a 5'4", 160-pound senior. And for the first time this evening, the Branstable Red Raiders putting the ball into the hands of someone other than Clinton Brown.
And we have our first down of the evening, too. We've had 2 touchdowns already, but no first downs. Nice to sustain a drive.
Greg Hill at quarterback. The handoff to Clinton Brown, heading toward his right. There's a loss of the play as the Whalers snuffed it out immediately. Clinton Kirby was there for, I should say Derek Kirby was there for the Whalers. And number 75, Lee Chase, a 6'5", 295-pound junior.
Nice job by Lee Chase busting into the backfield using that big frame of his. He's one of the guys who's been asked to do double duty since a couple of the defensive linemen for the Whalers have been out for since the first game, and they're going to need a big game from him.
Number 82, Travis Gladke, is flanked wide left for Branstable. Now Hill with the roll, looking. He finds his big tight end, number 80. That's Jared Pritchard with a reception. And Barnstable crossing up the Whalers, going to the air. And the completion successful for Barnstable. And they have the ball 3rd and 5 from the Whalers 46.
Yeah, and a very nice tackle there by Ramsey Clark, linebacker for the New Bedford High School Whalers. He's a junior, 5'9", 185-pounder. And he got in there and made a good individual one-on-one tackle.
Hill, the lefty, rolled to his left on that play and found Pritchard. And now Barnstable in the 3rd and 5. Hill barking out the call, pitching to Brown. Brown to his right, avoids a tackle, but is gang tackled by the Whalers at New Bedford's 43-yard line. He'll be about 2 yards short of the first down. That will set up a 4th and 2 for the Red Raiders.
Well, Clinton Brown getting 3 yards that time on the pitch back to him. He tried to cut it back to the middle and was met there by a number of red jerseys. New Bedford playing a lot better defense tonight than what we saw on the opening night against Whitman Hanson, doing a lot more gang tackling.
Number 80, Jared Pritchard, back to punt for Barnstable. His kick off the side of his foot, out of bounds at New Bedford's, let's see where they mark it, 33-yard line. Well, that's about a 10-yard punt.
I was going to say that's an 11-yard punt, exactly 11 yards from the line of scrimmage. Not a very good punt, but then again, I think he was trying to aim for the corner and probably got it off the side of his foot.
Barnstable playing it very safe with a 4th and maybe a long 2, deciding even from the Whalers' territory to punt, not getting much from the punt attempt by Pritchard. Ryan Walsh at quarterback, Kirby and Brito in the backfield. From the eye, it's Brito. Nothing on the play. Barnstable stuffing the hole at right tackle. Number 76, Ed Reedy, a 6'2", 280-pound senior with the tackle.
Well, early on, Barnstable certainly controlling play in the trenches. New Bedford not getting much of a push, never mind a hole for Jeff Brito to run through. We'll see if they can start going outside, start to use Jeff Brito's speed a little bit more.
Well, Brito now has carried the ball 4 times, and he's at -4 yards overall on 4 carries. So he really has not sprung loose. I think his longest run tonight has been 5 yards on that sweep left that we saw in the last possession.
The Balistracci brothers in a tandem right. Now Mark in motion. Walsh rolling to his left, finding Derek Kirby out of the backfield. He has a first down for New Bedford.
Well, a nice roll play that time by quarterback Ryan Walsh as he rolled to his left and found Kirby coming out of the backfield for the quick hitting pass and a first down, the first down for New Bedford. I think that the Whalers have seen that they're not going to be able to run the football very much on this team, but they are going to try to throw it. And now we see a flag down around the 50-yard line.
And they're talking to Ryan Walsh. I believe the officials are still discussing the penalty. Looking to Walsh. There's a hold on Barnstable, and it will be declined. They'll take the play. Kirby's first down reception from Walsh, setting up the Whalers at their own 48-yard line. New Bedford moving the ball well here this evening through the air. And Bernie, I think Coach Hamlet crossed us up early in the game, prior to the game. We asked him if he had anything different planned. He said no. Well, he's throwing the football. They're 2 for 4 through the air right now, and we haven't seen New Bedford throw the ball like this in the early going. And we haven't seen the plays that he's connected on here this evening in the first 2 games. Here's the underneath handoff to Kirby. He picks up about 3 on the play, brought down at the Barnstable 49-yard line by number 76, Ed Reddy. All right, so the Whalers crossed the 50-yard line, Joe, with 8 seconds left. The clock's going to wind down here, and the first quarter is going to come to an end. They're down to 4-3, and it's tied at 7-7, so the first quarter will come to an end with New Bedford and Barnstable tied at 7-7. And, John, this is definitely a different look for New Bedford here in the first quarter, throwing the football. By far the best we've seen New Bedford thus far this season. I think the coaching staff realized, well, we're going to have to try something new.
the game last week, New Bedford did try to go to the air, but with very little success. There was really only two fairly decent completions, both to Mark Balistracci. We're seeing Ryan Walsh trying to spread the ball out a little bit, and I believe they're starting to realize that they can beat the secondary.
Well, I know it's a lot more fun to broadcast games and to watch games from a fan's perspective, from a broadcaster's perspective when you're throwing the football. I usually sit up here all during the high school football season over the years, and of course people couldn't see it on radio, and they can't see it on TV because they hardly flash the cameras on us here at all, but I'd be standing here or with whoever I was doing the game with my arm in motion all the time saying, let's throw the football, let's throw the football, let's take advantage. You know, I've never quite understood on a high school level, it would seem to me like probably the toughest thing to defend against would be a pass for kids that are playing the secondary for the first time. And coaches come back and say, yeah, but you got to have a quarterback that can throw it. You got to have receivers who can catch it. Well, I think the skill positions are there for New Bedford, so I love watching this kind of a game.
And let's see if the passing game will be successful here in the second quarter for the Whalers. That's Tom Balistracci in motion. The counter to Brito. Nothing there. The Red Raiders stopping Brito for a loss of about 2 on the play, and that'll set up a 3rd and 9 for New Bedford.
You can't put this on Jeff Brito. He has absolutely no chance. As soon as he's getting the ball, he's facing 2 or 3 Barnstable players.
Well, they were going to key on him. Spanky Demand said right before the game that, hey, you know what? They've got Brito. He can run the football. We know what he did to us last year, and we're going to come out and try to take the run away, and that's probably why the Whalers are throwing the ball.
And the Whalers in a triangle to the right. Walsh looking for Balistracci, but there was a flag prior to the snap. Should be motion on the Whalers. Illegal procedure on New Bedford prior to the snap. The officials marching it off 5 yards for New Bedford, against New Bedford, I should say. And New Bedford now with a 3rd and 13 from their own 45-yard line.
That's the second penalty against the Whalers. Both of those illegal procedure calls. They've been penalized twice now for 10 yards in total.
Ryan Walsh with an eye set behind him. That's Kirby and Brito. And the Balistracci brothers flank right and left. Here's Walsh looking. He has one of the Balistraccis. That's Mark. That's Tom, I should say, at the 40-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for New Bedford.
Nice play that time as Mark Balistracci came over the middle, sort of a square-in pattern from the right side, came right across the middle, underneath the zone, and yep, they found him right there. And Walsh just hits him in the middle of the field for the 1st down, the second 1st down on this drive for the Whalers.
Jeff Brito did a great job. He did his job throwing that extra block that allowed Ryan Walsh just an extra second to throw that ball.
Guido Cucci flanked to the left, and Mark Balistracci to the right. New Bedford with a 1st and 10 at the Barnstable 40. Here's Walsh, straight back. He's looking long and deep. Overthrown. He once again had Mark Balistracci open, running free down the right sideline. The pass incomplete, and we had Clinton Brown on the coverage.
Well, just a straight fly pattern that time as you see the action developing here. The fake handoff to Kirby. Kirby just waiting to see what's going to happen and try to hit somebody right at the line of scrimmage. And you can't see the quarterback. Let's pan over to him now. Where is he? There he is right there. And you see Walsh getting set, looking down, letting it fly. And Mark Balistracci had a step on the man, but unfortunately was not able to get to the football. Oh, here's the play that's completed. My goodness, we're watching a different play. Just when we thought we were watching the right play.
And now we're back to the live action. Here's Walsh running the option, pitching to Brito. He breaks a tackle, and he has a 1st down for New Bedford. At the Barnstable 30-yard line, Jeff Brito spinning off a tackle after gaining about 8, picking up the additional 3 yards needed for a New Bedford 1st down.
And that's the longest run from the line of scrimmage by Jeff Brito. And for the guys down on the truck, you're not supposed to make the announcers up in the box look that bad, okay? We're doing a replay here, and you're showing me the wrong replay.
We can look bad on our own.
We don't need your help.
We don't need.
They're just trying to give us some positive reinforcement for the Whalers, showing the passes that work and not the ones that are incomplete, Bernie.
There you go.
Again, it's Brito in the tailback position. Kirby front of him has the fullback. Here's the reversed handoff to Tom Balistracci. Moving from the slot left, Balistracci taking the reverse, going to his right. Not much on the play.
We'll give him a yard on the play at the very most, but again, they tried to run that reverse and take advantage of Balistracci coming from the receiver position to try to sweep him around to the right side, but that was snuffed out by the men who stayed at home for Barnstable that time.
It's all right. I like the play. Throw a different wrinkle. Keep Barnstable thinking.
Split backs. We have Brito offset left. Kirby directly behind Walsh, and Walsh trying to roll to his left. He looks. He fires. He has Brito on the sideline. Jeff struggling to the 22-yard line of Barnstable before he is bumped out of bounds by number 82, Travis Glatke, for Barnstable. But that's a gain of about 8, setting up a 3rd and 2 for the Whalers.
Whalers moving the ball through the air, and Walsh doing a great job right now, whether he's rolling right or rolling left and finding his receivers. That time it was Brito coming out of the backfield and coming into the ball game after getting his words of encouragement from the sideline as Walsh with the next play.
Cucci offset left. Balistracci, Mark, flanked right. The handoff underneath to Brito. There's a fumble on the play. It's picked up by Clinton Brown. He's at the 40. He's at the 50. The 40 of the Whalers. The 30, the 20, the 10. Goodbye. Amazing return by Clinton Brown for Barnstable as Jeff Brito coughed up the football. Brown picked it up on the gallop, taking it the length of the field, and Barnstable leads 13-7.
Well, just when they were driving, and then Jeff Brito running to the inside that time, starting on around the 24-yard line, fumbled the ball somewhere around the 18 to the 20-yard line, and Clinton Brown just picked it up, and it was a foot race. From what we've seen here in the early going, if it's a foot race between Clinton Brown and anyone else, Clinton Brown's going to win that race.
Didn't see who it was, but somebody put a helmet right on that ball, and there's really nothing the ball carrier can do at that point.
Well, we're going to call that about another 82-yard touchdown return of a fumble by Clinton Brown.
Number 79, Darrell Acker, with the extra point attempt for Barnstable. The snap, the kick, deflected by the Whalers, but nonetheless it is good, slightly over the upright, and Barnstable ups their lead to 14-7 with 7:14 remaining in the second quarter. It is the Barnstable Red Raiders 14, New Bedford 7.
Well, New Bedford, as you can see there, New Bedford chasing Clinton Brown after he recovered the fumble. And as I said earlier, if it's a foot race, you're not going to catch Clinton Brown. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the official. He's got the best chance of tackling him right there. And he doesn't have the foot speed to do it. So there goes Clinton Brown going down the field, down the left side, and he's just going to waltz into the end zone for his second touchdown of the evening. And you see Ryan Walsh, the last man with a chance to maybe make a tackle, and he's about 8-9 yards behind him. So Clinton Brown, the star of the game so far, a touchdown on the offensive end, a touchdown on the defensive end, and both times he ran over 80 yards to do it.
Wow.
Marion Jones would be proud. Well, let's see if the Whalers, who have been moving the football successfully here this evening, can shake off that mistake and again move into Barnstable territory and tie up this contest.
Actually, New Bedford on that particular drive, guys, had the ball for 4 minutes and 56 seconds. That was their longest term of possession in this entire game, only to watch the other team score.
And here's the kick coming down short to Balistracci, but it bounces through his legs and taken by Brito. He's going down his left sideline. Brought down at the 30 by number 82, Travis Glatke, the 5'9", 165-pound senior who has been in on several tackles here this evening.
I have to laugh because the camera guys that are doing the game with us tonight, one of them looked up and said, what the heck kind of a kick is this? This guy keeps kicking these low kicks like that. But, you know, there's a reason why you do that, and most of the time it's because you just don't want to put the ball in the hands of a guy who can break a run, and that's a smart way to do it. Spanky Demanch making sure that the wrong New Bedford High School player doesn't get his hands on the football.
You can see his strategy here this evening. On offense, get it into the hands of Clinton Brown. On defense, keep Jeff Brito in check. Here's Walsh with a reverse handoff to the left to Jeff Brito. He avoids a tackle. Another, finally, gang tackle down at the New Bedford 43-yard line, but that will be a first down for the Whalers. A determined Jeff Brito with a gain of 11.
Yeah, that's his longest run from the line of scrimmage tonight, 12 yards. And I'll tell you what, he did that all on his own. He was met at the line of scrimmage by at least 2 defenders from Branstable, and you can see him as he cuts to the inside at that point in time and then dances around a little bit and turned it upfield. A nice 12-yard gain.
I think the ball actually did come loose again that time, only it was after he was down after he hit the ground, but hopefully Jeff doesn't have anything in his head.
A nice set behind Walsh. Rolling to his right, looking for Balistracci. He has him at the 50, at the 40. That's marked down the sideline, at the 20, at the 10. Good night. Amazing, a touchdown for the Whalers. And New Bedford draws within 1.
Wow.
Clinton Brown went for the interception on that play. Instead of staying home and trying to make the tackle, Mark made him pay.
Well, I'll tell you, Ryan Walsh and Mark Balistracci, they're going to build a name for themselves just in this particular game. A 57-yard touchdown pass and run completion from Walsh to Balistracci. And just as quickly as the Barnstable Red Raiders put points up on the scoreboard, the Whalers come right back with a great deal of resolve and a great deal of inside courage to come back and score just as quickly.
I have to say we have the makings of a shootout, gentlemen.
Yeah.
This must be what it's like to be at a St. Louis Rams-Denver Broncos contest. Kyle Kim with the extra point attempt. The snap is good. The kick is up. It's wide left. He had plenty of distance. The kick was end over end, well struck, but he hooked it to his left. No good. New Bedford trails 14-13. Barnstable in the lead with 6:29 left in the second quarter.
Well, that drive, you can see it right here, the finish of the touchdown pass to Balistracci as he takes it into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night, and the second touchdown pass by Ryan Walsh on the night. But this particular drive took 2 plays, 39 seconds off the clock, and it ends in a Ryan Walsh to Mark Balistracci 57-yard touchdown pass and run. And the point after touchdown, which may come back to haunt the Whalers, by Kim, no good. It was wide to the left, so the Whalers trail 14-13.
Well, I think you have to feel good if you're New Bedford, even though you are still trailing. They've looked like by far the better offensive team, with Barnstable really only having one weapon, Clinton Brown, New Bedford having several. And defensively, if you take away the fumble return, New Bedford defense is doing a fantastic job. They gave up that one big play in the beginning to Clinton Brown, but other than that, they've held their own very nicely.
Well, one thing, Bernie, we do have an exciting contest here this evening.
Oh, there's no question, Joe. There's absolutely no question. The Whalers are not going to sit here and just allow Barnstable.
Offset to the right, and to the left, it's Sadi Sumter for Barnstable. Here's the handoff to Clinton Brown. A gain of about 3 on the play. For the Whalers, the tackle was made by number.
I want to hear that.
I thought you were, I thought you predated Moses. Here's the pitch to Clinton Brown to his right. He avoids Kirby's tackle down the right sideline. Brown staying on his feet. He needs one block. It looks like he'll get it. He's gone down the right sideline. Clinton Brown, his 3rd touchdown of the first half.
Yeah, you get
Barnstable with a 20-13 lead.
What a great block there by Brian Noonan, 6', 200-pounder, who had one man to knock out of the way, and that was Kyle Kim. And he got Kyle Kim down around the 15 or 16. Takes it to the outside, and watch, he's going to cut it right back here to the middle scare. Great block right there, and that was the block that freed him and sent him into the end zone.
Look how many white shirts were down there. He had his own entourage. Their own entourage.
Well, I try to do it while I'm running.
Their own entourage.
Well, I try to do it while I'm running.
Kirby taking the kick, brings it right up the gut to the Whalers 46. An entourage of Barnstable Red Raiders with the tackle. Entourage.
There you go. So again, the Whalers will start with pretty good field position, this time on their own 46-yard line. And each time the Barnstable Red Raiders have come down and scored, the Whalers have answered. Let's see if they answer with 4:04 to play here in the first half.
We could have 5 answers by the time that 4:04 runs off the clock. Split backs behind Walsh. He goes straight back. The Whalers setting up a pass to the left of Brito. He avoids a tackle. Jeff dancing at the Barnstable 40-yard line, brought down by Clinton Brown, who's been everywhere here this evening. And number 82, Travis Glatke for the Red Raiders. But a first down for New Bedford, and the Whalers continue to have success through the air.
Yeah, 14-yard pickup that time on the pass play from Ryan Walsh to Brito, Jeff Brito coming out of the backfield. And again, as you say, they keep having success through the air, and they just keep going to it, and why not? Wear it out.
An I set behind Walsh. In motion, Mark Balistracci. The counter to Jeff Brito. The Whalers have tried that play twice this evening. The same result each time. Nothing happening. Number 76 for Barnstable, Ed Reedy with the tackle. He's a big 6'2", 280-pound defensive tackle.
You know, the way Reedy made that tackle, it was almost like he was in the New Bedford huddle and knew exactly what the play was going to be. Just went right to a spot, found Brito, and nailed him right there. No gain.
A second and for New Bedford from the Barnstable 40-yard line. Kicking off to Barnstable. The kick squibs off his foot toward the left sideline and out of bounds at the 35. A flag, of course, on the play.
It's great. I love watching this kind of football. Well, timeouts, whistles blowing, coaches calling timeouts. Barnstable and has done a very good job of putting together a winning program down there.
The Red Raiders with twins left and moving their tight end Noonan also to the left. Hill calling signals. The handoff to Brown. He's tripped up on the play by number 1, Brendan Gagne, and number 12, Mark Balistracci.
Off tonight. I just really like the way they're coming out and they're answering the bell.
Greg Hill, the sophomore at quarterback for Barnstable, with a handoff to Clinton Brown. He tries to break a tackle to his left, but not this time. Derek Kirby with the sure tackle, bringing down Brown at the 36. No gain on the play. New Bedford with another time. Fullback, Clinton Brown. Time. Fullback, Clinton Brown, the tailback. The sophomore quarterback, number 16, Greg Hill. With a fake handoff to Brown, he rolls to his left, looking long and deep. He has Noonan, he's wide open down the sideline. 10-5, amazing touchdown for the Red Raiders. New Bedford trying to set up another possession here in the first half. They'll get one, but not the way they expected.
No, and not, I believe, the play they expected either, as tight end Brian Noonan that time got down behind the D. Well, 29 seconds that particular drive took, and you see Brian Noonan catching the football and waltzing into the end zone, celebrating a little bit with his.
I think if there was only 46 left to play, it would be enough time.
Going to have 50 points or more here in the first half.
Wow, amazing, huh? John, last week we saw a game, 14-0, not much offense, lots of defense. This week, lots of offense, not much defense.
It's really the beauty of high school football. Things can change so quickly.
Just like the complexion of a high school student.
Okay, that was Joe Cabral, C-A-B-R-A-L. All you high school students out there that are wondering what he's talking about.
My daughter came home last week, had a little bit of a blemish on her face. Wasn't too happy about it.
See, I thought it was supposed to end in high school.
Here's Brito taking the kick at his own 15. Now down the left sideline. He avoids a tackle and is finally brought down by Clinton Brown at the 35-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, downtown Clinton Brown gets it done on both sides of the football. I mean, he's running it into the end zone. He's out there playing defense. This guy's getting it done.
I have to say, Jeff Brito showing no signs of any ill effects from that ankle injury he suffered a couple weeks ago, which is great news.
Excellent news for the Whalers. They have a minute 38 to march 66 yards. They start from their own 34. Here's the underneath fake handoff by Walsh. He's looking long and deep for Mark Balistracci. The ball this time overthrown as there was coverage provided by number 1 Clinton Brown, playing extremely deep for Barnstable, looking for the home run ball from Walsh.
Yeah, I was going to say, Joe, that time it wasn't one-on-one coverage. It was really Clinton Brown just playing back sort of like a center fielder, and he was way back there trying to prevent the long pass from being a scoring strike with under 2 minutes to play.
Kirby is the lone back. Walsh calling signals. Dropping back. Looking for Balistracci on the wide receiver screen. The pass is knocked down by number 66, Bobby Doherty. He's a 5'10" defensive end, weighing in at 225 pounds for Barnstable.
Defensive lineman Todd, if you can't get to the quarterback, jump and put your hands up.
Yeah, he did a great job that time as he was trying to fend off the blocker. Got the two hands up in the air as soon as he saw Walsh turning to the right side.
The Whalers with a 3rd and 10 from their own 34. Split backs. Walsh straight back, looking for Guido Cucci. The ball is slightly overthrown, bouncing off the hands of the cornerback, number 82, Travis Glatke, for Barnstable, and that will set up a 4th and 10 for the Whalers from their own 34 and a punting situation.
Well, really, one of the first times that the Barnstable D has been able to slow down the Whalers. This is the first time they've gone 3 and out since the opening drive of the game, excuse me.
Jonathan Costa back to punt for New Bedford. Sadi Sumter and Clinton Brown to return the kick for Barnstable. It's tumbling down to Sumter. He muffs the ball, and it's recovered by number 1, Brandon Gagney for New Bedford. The Whalers with outstanding field position at the Barnstable 37-yard line, and 1:20 remaining in the first half.
Wow. All you can say is it's unbelievable. Just when you think there's nothing left in the tank, they stopped and refilled.
That play was basically, you have to give all the credit to Derek Kirby. He flew downfield, and I don't think Sumter realized, he might have heard footsteps, but he did not expect Kirby to be there so quickly.
Cucci flanked wide left, Balistracci in the slot. Walsh telling Cucci, step back. The fake handoff to Kirby, the pitch to Brito, a flag on the play. Probably against the Whalers. Illegal procedure against New Bedford. I wonder if Walsh's signaling of Cucci to get off the line of scrimmage set up New Bedford with only 6 men along the line. That is a penalty. You must have 7 men on the line of scrimmage and 5 yards to be marched off against the Whalers.
Well, and for the New Bedford High School Whalers, I believe that is the 3rd flag that's been thrown against the Whalers tonight. So only the 3rd infraction by the Whalers.
A 1st and 15.
Yeah.
Punch when it'll be 1st down. So they'll have at least 4 opportunities to try to do that if they can utilize the clock, use their timeouts, and be able to use that 24 seconds as valuable as possible. And you see the assistant coaches talking with the New Bedford High School offensive linemen.
If you go to the air, Bernie, you can get off at least 3 plays with 24 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Easily, and you saw what they were saying. He said, okay, you go to the manhole cover on the left, and you go out there by the telephone pole, and what we're going to do is try to throw this one to Mark Balistracci over the middle.
At the 66 Buick. Ryan Walsh, the quarterback for New Bedford. Mark Balistracci flank to the left, the fake pitch, and Walsh rolling to his right. He has Derek Kirby wide open down the sideline. It looks like he has a 1st down and is bumped out of bounds down at about the 4.
That play took 8 seconds, so they still have 16 seconds left on the clock as he went out of bounds and stopped the clock.
Yeah, great job by Derek. Very heads-up play.
He was waving his hands wildly, saying, I'm open, Ryan, please hit me. He did, down the sideline. 1st down at the 4-yard line of the Barnstable Red Raiders.
Still looking for this Buick you guys are talking about.
Well, Walsh now 11 for 18, so he's accumulating some numbers here in the first half.
An eye set behind Ryan Walsh. He rolls to his left, looking, lobbing to the sideline, and that's Mark Balistracci. The pass is complete. point, a touchdown for the Whalers, and New Bedford within one. An explosive contest continues. It's Barnstable 26, New Bedford 25. 11 seconds remaining in the first half, and the point after touchdown yet to come.
Well, you know, what a nice touch, what a nice toss that time from Bellistracci. He's running to the opposite side. He's a right-hander running to his left, so he's got to throw the ball off his front foot, so to speak, while he's in stride, and he threw just a perfect pass to Mark Bellistracci over the defense, and that has continued. Now they're going to go for the two-point conversion.
We have Yates moving from tight end left to tight end right, and now Brito in motion. Walsh calling signals, going straight back, firing. He has Tom Bellistracci for the 2-point. In a formation, they should knee the ball out of this set, and that's exactly what they do with the sophomore quarterback, number 16, Greg Hill, downing the ball, and the Whalers at the half lead 27-26 over Barnes.
The gentleman up here in the booth with me, if you're just tuning in, Joe Cabral, and of course John Carchidi. And I'll tell you, looking at these numbers are completely staggering. And I'll give you the easy one first. New Bedford with 7 first downs, guys, in the first half, and Barnstable with only 2. But how about these numbers? Ryan Walsh, a quarterback, 13 of 19 through the air for 237 yards, wow. 4 touchdown passes, and we're talking the first half. He's still got a second half to play. Mark Bellistracci, 4 touchdown receptions, 6 receptions overall for 219 yards. Have those two gotten to know one another in this game? And how about Clinton Brown from the Barnstable Red Raiders? He pass and a 2-point conversion to Tom Bellistracci. And a 2-point conversion to Tom Bellistracci to take that 1-point lead. Joe?
Ryan McCann's kick goes out of bounds.
Who has the football last will win the ball game.
I can see that happening very much so. Be interesting to I wish we were a fly on the wall in some of those locker room speeches, particularly Barnstable's, and particularly Barnstable coaches to the Barnstable secondary. They were so unable to stop any variation, anything of the New Bedford passing attack.
Okay, Barnstable will actually start at their own 30-yard line with their sophomore quarterback, Greg Hill, calling signals and handing to Clinton Brown. Directly up the middle, Brown finally brought down.
Quite a shootout.
Hill, the sophomore quarterback, with an eye set. Giving to Clinton Brown. He's drilled by number 49, Ramsey Clark. Escapes the tackle, but the officials had whistled the play down, and Brown is stopped for a loss of 5 on the play as Ramsey Clark, out of his linebacker position.
The New Bedford is made. They're sending They're sending Ramsey Clark on the last 2 plays, trying to get in the backfield before the handoff.
Here's the fake handoff to Brown, and now rolling to his right, it's the quarterback Hill, looking long. Ooh. Oh, a pass to the tight end. Noonan dropped at the Whaler 45-yard line. On the coverage for New Bedford, it was Tom Simmons. The pass is in. Is back to kick for New Bedford. It's number 12, Mark Bellistracci, to return. A junior back to punt for the Red Raiders. And that's Mark Bellistracci to return for New Bedford. Snap is low, but Pritchard gets the kick away. It's a spiraling kick toward the right sideline, tumbling down into Whaler territory and downed. Derek Kirby and Brito at the running backs, and Bellistracci and Cucci are the wide receivers. Here's the pitch to Kirby, taking the ball to his right. Derek Kirby down the right sideline. He's tackled at the 43. There's a flag on the play. And we have a low block, a block below the waist against New Bedford. Test between New Bedford High and Barnstable High. 9 minutes left in the third quarter. The Whalers in possession at their own 27. Here's Walsh rolling to his left, firing, intended for number 6, I believe. Yes, Guido Cucci. The pass is incomplete. A 2nd and 23 for the Whalers, way back from their own 27.
You know, for those who follow New Bedford High School football over the years, the Cucci name and the Balistracci name are names that have been pretty prominent in football throughout this New Bedford area. And it's kind of funny, I was talking to Paul Cucci last week, an outstanding receiver when he was a young man for a different team, for a different high school team out in Taunton. But I'll tell you in a moment what I want to say. Go ahead, Paul.
High formation behind Walsh. He's straight back, play action, looking long and deep for Balistracci. That was Tom. The ball deflected away by the Red Raiders' number 8, Matt LaSalle, a senior. And he is flanked wide left. And he is flanked wide left as Walsh has Balistracci on the wing right, now in motion left. Calling signals. Walsh with the underneath handoff to Ariston Aurora, I believe.
You're right, Joe.
Short gain on the play. That'll bring up a 4th and a long 21 for New Bedford. They'll have to punt, and that will bring in Jonathan Costa.
Guys, just noticed Jeff Brito down on the sideline being tended to by the trainer. Can't tell if it's his ankle. It is something on his right leg. Can't tell if it might be a cramp or if it is that bad ankle.
Costa back to punt. A tumbling kick, bouncing at the Red Raider 45, now the 40, then at the 35. A flag thrown on the play. I believe there was a block by Barnstable once the ball had hit the ground. Let's see what the signal is.
With the trainer's help. With the trainer's help, so that would tend to be something muscular as opposed to that bad ankle, which is a good sign.
Greg Hill with a handoff to his fullback, number 43, Patrick Colborn. Right up.
Not had the ball for any long stretches where they've been able to accumulate first downs.
Here's Greg Hill, the sophomore quarterback, with Noonan tight end right. The handoff is to Clinton Brown, off right tackle, brought down at the 40-yard line. An I formation behind Greg Hill. Justin Waskowitz is the fullback. And here's Clinton Brown, the tailback, right up the gut. He hurdles a tackler right down the middle. He's gone. 30, 20, 15, 10. Another amazing touchdown run from Clinton Brown.
Well, the ball was on the 40-yard line. He took it in the end zone. That's 60 yards, guys. Another big run by Clinton Brown. That gives him 214 yards rushing, and it gives him 4 touchdowns on the night. So Clinton Brown is a one-man wrecking crew. Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears.
Very good comparison. Here's Noonan switching from tight end left to tight end right. Hill calling signals with an eye set. Man in motion, and the pitch is to Brown. He tries to take it wide right. He's hit hard and brought down by the Whalers' Derek Kirby and Tom Simmons. Brandon Gagney also in on the tackle. So the 2-point conversion attempt is unsuccessful, leaving Barnstable with a 5-point lead over the Whalers, 32-27, with 6:37 left in the third quarter.
Well, that scoring drive started on their own 25-yard line with 7:59 to play, and there's Clinton Brown as he goes into the end zone, straight down the field, up the gut, as you're saying, into the end zone for the touchdown. And again, it's
for Barnstable. He tries to kick this one deep. It's picked up by Brandon Gagney. Right up the middle, Gagney, he splits 2 tacklers. He's going down the right sideline. Number 21 for Barnstable finally drags him down. Sadi Sumter, as Brandon Gagney nearly broke one right down the middle, being brought down at the Barnstable 41. The shootout continues.
Well, again, we said it in the first half. The Whalers have shown me tonight a great deal of resolve. This is a game that their coach wants to win. He believes it's a big one for their confidence, and they need to win this game. And these kids have not folded up their tent and gone home. If it's going to be a shootout, they're going to shoot right till the end.
And we still see Jeff Brito out of the lineup. I would anticipate the Red Raiders looking for the passing game. Here's the counter to Ariston Aurora. He has a hole off right tackle. He has a first down at the 27-yard line. He steps out of bounds. Bumped there by number 5, Matt Schultz, the 5'9", 165 pounds. The 12, the Whalers with a 5 pounds. The 12, the Whalers with a 1st and 10. Ryan Walsh with Derek Kirby as the solo back. He rolls to his left, looking for his tight end, Yates. He has the ball. He's brought down out of bounds, down around the 5-yard line. The second time this evening that Steve Yates has been on the end of a Ryan Walsh pass. A gain of about 7 on the play. Down at about the 5 or 6. The Whalers with a 2nd and 5.
I like this kid Walsh. He's putting the ball where only his receiver can get it. That was tight coverage that time on Yates.
An outstanding point, John. There was tight coverage there. The ball well thrown by Ryan Walsh. Calling signals. The reverse to Aurora. To the left side. A flag on the play. Gain of about 2 for. And 2 for. And that is Tom, flanked left. Mark, flanked right. In the slot, it's Ariston Aurora. Kirby, the sole back. Here's Walsh, straight back, looking. He's looking for Tom Balistracci in the end zone. The pass off the hands of the Whalers sophomore. Incomplete. A 3rd and 12 for New Bedford at their own 15.
But again, a very good pass, though, Joe. A very good pass by Walsh. He's now 14 for 22 for 244 yards in this contest. Not as hot as he was when he closed out the first half here in the second half, but he's throwing the ball on the money now. There's just a little bit better defensive coverage, and his receivers are trying to catch the ball in some pretty awkward positions.
And Branstable is also aware that Jeff Brito is out of the lineup, so they're not quite as concerned about the Whaler running game. Here's Walsh rolling to his right, looking, firing to the end zone for Tom. He catches the ball and they rule it a touchdown.
Oh my.
It appeared that Tom was out of bounds, but no, the signal is that he had the 1 foot inbounds. That is necessary, and the Whalers with a touchdown. And they retake the lead, 33-32.
Yeah, you know what, Joe? I thought the same thing. I thought he had caught the ball, but I thought he was out of bounds when he caught it. But the official immediately threw 2 arms in the air and said that is a touchdown completion. So Tom Balistracci getting on the scoreboard with the touchdown reception. Another touchdown pass thrown by young Mr. Ryan Walsh. That is his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game.
It'll be interesting, John and Bernie, to see if we have a replay. If Tom's feet were again, or at least his 1 necessary foot in bounds.
Barnes 1 point with 5:40 to play, 33-.
And his kick wobbly toward the right sideline, bounding out of bounds once again, this time at about the 23-yard line. A flag on the play.
Sorry.
Barnstable will start from their own 30, and here's Greg Hill, the sophomore quarterback, rolling to his left. He's a lefty, remember, looking, rolling, keeping. brought down by Ramsey Clark after a short gain on the play.
More of these games. There's a lot of scoring in football.
Hill's the quarterback. And the handoff to the fullback, number 43, Patrick Colborn, his third catch.
For Brown. Well, they are. He's just getting through it.
And he is in an eye set behind Hill, who's rolling to his right, and there's the pitch to Clinton Brown. He avoids one tackle, then another, but we see Ryan McCann with a tackle from his linebacker spot for the Whalers. Not until Clinton Brown. Not until Clinton Brown certainly fits the bill. Here he is in the eye set, and Hill with the handoff to Brown. He avoids a tackle, now to his left, down the sideline. Finally, after escaping 3 would-be New Bedford tacklers, is brought down by Mark Bellistracci. Makes him much more difficult to apprehend. Here's Hill with a handoff to Clinton Brown on a counter. He avoids a tackler, and now he's to the outside, trying to get by Tom Simmons. Simmons can't bring him down. Ramsey Clark, one final effort. He pushes him out of bounds at about the 20-yard line, but Clinton Brown is putting on a show here this evening for Barnstable.
Well, it's a 34-yard run that time by Brown, and the only reason that he didn't go.
Here is Hill with a fake handoff, now rolling to his left. He's looking, rolling, continuing, and keeping all the way down to the 11-yard line. This young sophomore quarterback has been impressive here this evening. He has been cool, calm, and collected.
Said earlier, this is his first varsity start. Said earlier, this is his first varsity start, so he's having a very successful start to his high school football career.
Here's the handoff right up the gut to number 3, L.J. Blount for Barnstable. A gain of about 4 on the play. Barnstable from the New Bedford 7. 1:42 left in the third quarter. Hill with a handoff to Blount right up the middle. He breaks a tackle, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. For the first time this evening, on the ground, a Barnstable Red Raider other than Clinton Brown has scored. It's L.J. Blount.
Anybody going to question my statement earlier? The last team to have the football is going to win the ball game. I mean, these guys keep going back and forth. You score, I'll score. You score a touchdown, I'll come back and score.
It's Waskowitz and Blount behind Hill. The handoff to Blount. He won't get there. The Whalers holding on the 2-point conversion attempt. But Barnstable nonetheless will retake the lead. It's the Red Raiders now 38, the Whalers of New Bedford High 33, 1:36 left in the third quarter as the shootout on New Bedford Educational Access Sports. A beautiful night for football here in New Bedford at Paul Walsh Field. And both teams have decided to play some aggressive offensive football.
Well, we've talked a little bit about the running game, the passing game. We've talked about some of the great individual efforts. But one thing we haven't been able to say tonight is great defensive stop.
Acker with a long kick deep into the Whalers' territory, and that's Ariston Aurora from his own 8. Now at the 35, he is brought down.
For quarterback Ryan Walsh as he brings him out of the huddle, and I don't think he's going to want to stop here.
We have Mark Bellistracci flank wide right, Aurora in the slot. Here's the pass to Yates, the tight end. It's complete. He's brought down at the 40-yard line by Justin Waskowitz for the Red Raiders. A gain of about 6 on the play. Some excellent play calling here this evening by Coach Wayne Hamlet and his staff. They've mixed up the long pass, the short pass thrown to Bellistracci, to Yates, to Cucci, even earlier this evening to Jeff Brito. And the Red Raiders have yet to solve the New Bedford High Whaler offense. Walsh with an eye set, rolling to his right, looking, firing to the sideline. That's Tom Balistracci. The pass is incomplete, skipping to him at the Barnstable 48-yard line. New Bedford with a 3rd and 4 from their own 41.
I can't imagine throwing 5 touchdown passes and still trailing in a game. If anything, though, Ryan Walsh is really establishing himself as a big-time Division I quarterback.
Bill.
What looks to be his right calf, and he hasn't moved. The trainer really hasn't left his side either, so interesting to see how serious the injury is.
Yates switching from tight end right to tight end left. The underneath handoff to Aurora, right up the middle, close to another first down is Ariston. New Bedford on the move, using the ground game for a change. And I believe at the 34-yard line of Barnstable, very close to a first down. Indeed, the officials signal first down, New Bedford High.
Well, just like that, Ariston Aurora with 2 runs of 15 and 10 yards, 25 quick yards on the ground, something that the New Bedford High School Whalers needed just to kind of mix things up a little bit.
It's Brito and Aurora in the backfield in an I set, and here's Walsh rolling to his right. Pressure. Walsh trying to avoid the sack. He is unable to do so. That's Justin Waskowitz bringing Ryan Walsh down at
16 of 25 passes.
At
16 of 25 passes for what would be unofficially 265 yards through the air. Not bad.
For 3 quarters.
For 3 quarters of football.
We were talking earlier this evening, John and Bernie, about the fact that we are not familiar with the records for Paul Walsh Field, but certainly 5 touchdown passes. Ryan Walsh has to be approaching some sort of a record here this evening.
Well, New Bedford has had a lot of very good quarterbacks over the years, and they have never been reluctant to throw the football. I know that offensive coordinator John Seed down there likes to throw the football. He was a quarterback, and he knows what it's like to get out there and air it out. But I don't remember too many games in over 20 years of broadcasting on radio and TV where I can honestly tell you that I can remember a 5-touchdown passing performance.
Not in high school. In fact, not at any level. Very rarely do you see 5 touchdown passes in one contest.
I think Todd Soares, and I don't remember exactly what year it was, but Todd Soares was quarterback here at New Bedford High School, and I believe he had a 4-touchdown game, 4 touchdowns through the air, but I can't remember anyone ever having 5.
And I set behind Walsh, the counter tray, the handoff to Aurora. Nothing going this time for the Whalers. Aurora is brought down for a short loss in the play.
The New Bedford running game, but I don't think he really the New Bedford running game, but I don't think he really counted on Ryan Walsh airing it out the way he has.
And Walsh is back to pass again, rolling to his left, looking, keeping. Aurora with a block, and now Balistracci with a block. Walsh down the sideline. He's about a yard or 2 short of a first down, but very close, and some fine blocking by the Whalers. Number 8, Tom Balistracci, and number 27, Ariston Aurora to seal the sideline, and the Whalers, Ryan Walsh, with a first down run.
Well, great blocking. Ariston Aurora taking on a man twice his size, it looks like, from up here. But he did his job. He gave Ryan Walsh a fantastic lane. And again, Tom Balistracci doing what he does best, blocking downfield.
And Walsh with a 19-yard run. So I guess he's trying to show us that not only throws the football, he can run the football.
Multi-dimensional.
3 wide receivers to the right for the Whalers. And here's the pitch to Kirby. He takes it to the outside and has the outside. A flag on the play. Kirby with a gain of about 9. Again, the flag is thrown in the area where holding is.
Bring New Bedford back to the
holding is.
Bring New Bedford back to the 35-yard line. So or 34-yard line, the nose of the football touching the 35. But I'll tell you what, as you said, Joe, if you're a coach, you're going to pull your hair out when there's holding, but you're going to pull all your hair out when it's holding away from the play.
And Ryan Walsh returns to the huddle with the call. New Bedford with a first and forever from their own from the Barnstable 35-yard line. 1st and 20 to be precise. From the 34, it's Ryan Walsh rolling to his left. Here comes the pressure. He looks long and deep to Balistracci down the left sideline. The pass is broken up by number 82. That's Glatke, Travis Glatke, with a deflection close to an interference call, but there is another flag on the field.
Well, I thought that the flag that was thrown on the field, I thought he was going to be throwing that flag because of an interference call, because it was very close, as you say, Joey. It looked like he was trying to screen him with his hands.
Here's the call. Personal foul, roughing the passer on Barnstable. They'll march it off.
And the defensive man, Travis Glatke, that time got away with a little bit of something as he had his hands in the face. Looked like he was just screening him, stopping him from seeing the football coming towards him, and you just can't do that until the ball is touched by the receiver.
The Whalers pick up a first down and have it at the Barnstable 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for New Bedford High. And Ryan Walsh, the quarterback, with Kirby and Aurora behind. Here's the underneath handoff to Kirby. Nothing doing on the play. A loss of 2 for New Bedford.
Don't mind New Bedford running the ball at all. They've had some success, but they've had success when they go to the outside. That
You got to throw it in the air. That's where you've had all your success all night long.
Let's see what happens on 4th and 9 for the Whalers. And here is Walsh looking for a first down, skipping down the sidelines, and I believe he has it. There was a block on the play from Tom Balistracci on number 82, Travis Glatke. Glatke is down, and there is a flag in the vicinity. There could be a clip on the play.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. An illegal block by Tom Balistracci.
Well, it's right in that area where you would expect the quarter as you see the Barnstable Red Raider down on the ground now. Then you see a shot of the New Bedford High School sidelines and some of the players getting some coaching instruction, getting a few drinks. And there you see, there he is. There's Glatke. He's going to get up and walk off under his own power. Travis Glatke, 5'9", 165-pounder. And he is in his 12th year of high school. Is that what that says there, Joe? His 12th year? He's in his 12th year?
He's been around a while. Grade 12, he's a senior.
Oh,
Sounds like
maybe he has been around for 12 years.
They got to rewrite these rosters a little bit better for me.
I know, I stumbled through. 12 years would have sounded good to me. Joe Cabral, Bernie Piccanisco, and John Carchidi here with you this evening on New Bedford Cable Access Sports. a shootout at the Paul Walsh Corral. As I mentioned earlier this evening, the Whalers of New Bedford trailing Barnstable 38-33 in the fourth quarter. A timeout signaled by Barnstable. Barnstable 24. That's 15 yards. That sets up a 4th and 13 for the Whalers. Here's Walsh, play action, looking, firing. He has Yates well short of the first down, but there's another flag on the play.
Yeah, another flag down there in the area where the reception would have been made, and got a couple of New Bedford High School players clapping. I think this one's going to go against Barnstable, Joe.
It will go against Barnstable. Let's see what the call is for. The reception by Yates was well short of the first down.
And in fact, another referee overruled the line judge, saying it was incomplete.
Holding signaled against Barnstable. A penalty-ridden second half for both squads, slowing the play down considerably.
Well, especially on this particular drive, Joe. This is the 5th flag that has been thrown on this particular drive.
The officials marching off the penalty.
Well, it's going to bring the ball down to the 14-yard line of Barnstable.
Still some discussion going on down in the field.
See, the guy in the white hat doesn't agree with what the guy in the black hats has been doing. I mean, that's, you got it. The hats have to confer, and they all have to agree. Although there's more black hats down there, about 4 of them, and only 1 white hat. If you don't make that white hat happy, there's just no satisfying them.
Just like in the old cowboy movies.
So that's the first down.
Wow.
Defensive holding. That is an automatic first down.
What a break.
The Whalers with the ball at the Barnstable 14. 1st and 10.
Just want to ease your minds, guys.
Okay. Very good, John. The ball's marked actually at the 20. I am at peace at this point. Here's Walsh rolling to his right, firing. He has a man. That's Tom Balistracci down the right sideline. Bumped out of bounds. Close to the first down.
Great move by Tom, cutting back in rather than just dying and going right out of bounds. He got his team another couple yards.
That'll set up a 2nd and 2 down at the 6. The Whalers continuing to move the ball through the air.
Jeff Brito has been taken on to the role of cheerleader now. He's waving a big white towel, walking back and forth, seemingly walking without a limp.
We have the Balistracci brothers flanked to the left. The handoff is to Aurora. He breaks a tackle, is brought down at the 3. Close to a first down.
Well, some very good leg drive that time by Ariston Aurora, who was hit initially at the line of scrimmage and just kind of slid off the would-be tackler and continued his drive forward for another first down for the Whalers.
That'll set up a 1st and goal to go for New Bedford at the Barnstable 3-yard line. The Whalers looking to regain the lead, trailing 38-33.
6 first downs on this particular series of possessions for the Whalers, and they have had the ball, as I said earlier, since the 1:25 mark, roughly speaking, of the 3rd quarter. So they've been the only team with the football here in the 4th quarter.
Wow.
This drive has been the antithesis of what we've seen throughout the evening. Wishbone set. The handoff is given to Kirby. Derek Kirby met in the middle of the line by number 76 for Barnstable. We've called his name several times here this evening, Ed Reedy. Not much on the play, if anything at all. A 2nd and 2.5 to go for the Whalers from about the 2.5-yard line.
This will be the 18th play of this drive.
The Whalers marching. Kirby, the lone back. Here's the pitch to Kirby. Wide right. He has the corner, and he has a touchdown for the Whalers. Amazing. New Bedford has once again regained the lead.
Well, Kirby with the 3-yard touchdown run, and this an 18-play drive that took an awful lot of time off the clock.
The Whalers using the ground game here, John. Throughout the evening, it's been the aerial assault. Now New Bedford going to the ground. A big 18-play drive, as Bernie mentioned. New Bedford retaking the lead, 39-38. Lots of time remaining here in the fourth quarter, 5:37.
Well, now it's up to the defense to make a stop, because 5:37 isn't a heck of a lot of time. If Clinton Brown and company can drive down and put 6 more points on the board, that's not going to leave Ryan Walsh all that much time to come back.
New Bedford going for the 2-point conversion, and Walsh rolls to his right. He has Aurora. The pass is complete. He avoids a tackle, and Ariston is into the end zone. New Bedford is successful with a 2-point conversion, and the Whalers have opened up a 41-38 lead here in the fourth quarter.
All right, we'll try to recap this drive for you. We started on the New Bedford 34-yard line when there was 1:25 left to play in the third quarter, and the Whalers have marched downfield 66 yards. They did so on 18 plays, as you see Kirby going into the end zone. They took 6 minutes and 48 seconds off the clock during this drive. Derek Kirby with a 3-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion was a pass from Waltz to Ariston Aurora, 41-38. The Whalers with a 3-point lead. And as they get ready to kick this ball off, guys, they've gone back and forth, back and forth. This the 4th touchdown scored in the second half. And I got to tell you, I'm going to maintain it again. I mean, they better get their hands on the football again, because the last team to touch this football is going to be the team that wins.
I agree with you 100%. How big was that defensive holding call, giving New Bedford the automatic first down? It was 4th down, and they had actually, New Bedford had thrown an incomplete pass. It was Barnstable ball.
That was huge.
Brian McCann to kick off for the Whalers, who have regained the lead, 41-38 here in the fourth quarter. He booms it down the middle of the field, but to Clinton Brown, who brings it to the 25, now the 30, trying to find a seam down the right sideline at the 40. Pulling the Whalers along with him. Kyle Kim finally with the tackle, assisted by Calvin Arterberry, but not until we see the Barnstable Red Raiders setting up for a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Well, I think if you're Coach Wayne Hamlet, I think it's time to take the troops aside and say, listen, guys, we've had a lot of fun playing offense tonight. We've gone back and forth. It's been a great shootout. There's been 79 points scored. How about one defensive stand here? Just one.
Clinton Brown is not in the lineup for Barnstable. L.J. Blount is the tailback. And here's the underneath handoff to Patrick Colburn. Colburn, the senior fullback for Barnstable, with no gain on the play. Wholesale changes now by Barnstable, number 77. Ryan Siflard checking in at offensive tackle for Barnstable.
Well, right now, if you're a Whaler fan, you got to be concerned about Clinton Brown. He's been the man that's put up the numbers tonight for the Barnstable Red Raiders. I mean, you got to shadow this guy.
There he is, a tailback. Play action. Rolling his hill to his left, keeping, firing. Oh, ball was nearly intercepted.
Is the flag down? I'm sorry, Joe. Does the flag down look like he went past the line of scrimmage before he threw the ball, or is that an intentional grounding call they just made?
Oh, good call, John. You were right. Beyond the line of scrimmage, we saw Hill rolling to his left, looking undecided. He actually had some space along that left sideline to keep the ball, decided to throw, had a pass that was nearly intercepted, but he was indeed beyond the line of scrimmage, a penalty flagged against him.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, that's the real first mistake that this young man has made all night long. And for those that are just tuning in, Greg Hill, the quarterback, the lefty quarterback for this Barnstable team, making his first varsity start. And when the game started, I don't know whether Spanky Demands, the head coach of Barnstable, thought he was going to get 38 points out of this team tonight. But I can tell you this: I don't think that he thought that Hill was going to lead them to 38 points. And Hill's done a very good job.
He has been outstanding here this evening, especially for a sophomore. As you mentioned, Bernie, really that's only his first mistake of the evening. Here's the counter fake to Brown. Now we have Hill rolling. Looking, he has Sumter down the right sideline. Sadi Sumter, the 6'2", 205-pound junior, with the reception for Barnstable, and that's a first down for the.
Wow.
On the ground?
Unofficially, that's on the ground. That's
or on
rushing.
a bicycle.
He might have a skateboard out there, and we just can't see it. But that's 267 yards rushing, and I'm going to add to that, that doesn't count the fumble that he picked up and ran 82 yards with.
Oh, man. It's been Clinton versus New Bedford. That's what we kind of imagined that it might be earlier in the game, and that's the way it's turned out. You take away Clinton Brown out of this equation, and this is a blowout.
What an offensive contest here tonight. 41-38. New Bedford leads the Barnstable Red Raiders with the ball at the Whalers' 27-yard line, marching, it seems, inexorably to another score.
How do you spell
to
that?
Retake the lead.
Inexorably. Can you spell that for us?
E-N-T-O-U-R-A-G-E.
E-X-O-R-A. Okay, let's go back to Hill. H-I-L-L at quarterback for Barnstable. Waskowitz is the fullback. Clinton Brown at tailback. Here's the option.
Nice play.
Keeping the ball is Hill. Close to a first down. The sophomore quarterback running the option to his left. The Whalers shadowing Clinton Brown, allowing Hill to turn it up. And a gain of about 8 on the play.
Well, the sophomore looked like a senior there, taking what the defense gives you, cutting it back inside as the defense was content, as they should be, to take out Clinton Brown.
Yeah, good job by Greg Hill, the sophomore quarterback, as they're going to measure this, and it looks like he might have a first down.
A lot more than 8 yards.
Yeah.
Closer to 10. In fact, a little over 10 as Greg Hill runs for a Barnstable first down. This sophomore quarterback has been extremely impressive.
Well, he's done the job. There's no question about it. Before the game, Coach DeManch was telling me that his starting quarterback from the previous couple of games was hurt. He was going to be missing him. That's John Rizzo. And this was the young man's first opportunity to play. Boy, has he taken advantage of that first opportunity.
Noonan from tight end left to tight end right. Setting up a strong formation right, and the handoff to Clinton Brown to the right, off right tackle. Clinton Brown brought down by Ramsey Clark. And number 53, Ryan McCann for New Bedford. Short gain on the play as the Whalers continue to key Clinton Brown.
Well, only 2 yards that time, so they're starting to contain him a little bit. 269 yards rushing for Clinton Brown.
2:20 left here in the contest. Barnstable trailing by 3, 41-38. The Whalers of New Bedford trying to hold. Clinton Brown having an outstanding game here for Barnstable. Over 240 yards.
Seconds to give the Barnstable Red Raiders a 44-41 lead. The point after touchdown kick no good, so a 3-point lead here for the Barnstable Red Raiders, and New Bedford will have the ball last with 1:14 to play. And I tell you, we've had a 47-second scoring drive, a minute and 20 second scoring drive, so it is not out of the question.
We mentioned earlier that you went to school with Moses. Let's see if you're in his prophetic league.
Was Notre Dame in that class?
I think he was in the French classes.
The French classes.
With entourage. Okay, we have a minute 14 of exciting football remaining. Number 79, Darrell Acker to kick off for Barnstable. And he kicks it long and deep. For the Whalers, it's Brandon Gagne. Moving from his right to his left. Down the sideline, Gagne at the 30, at the 35, cuts it back at the 40. The Whalers with good field position at their own 40-yard line, and a minute and 5 left in the contest. They trail by 3 points.
Well, you're right, Joe. It gives them an opportunity to have good field position again. They only have to go 60 yards. They've got a minute and 5 seconds to do that, and the way young Ryan Walsh has torn apart the defense with his arm tonight, and the way Mark Balistracci has been able to get open, I don't think this is out of the question.
It certainly is not. Let's see what the Whalers have for us with a minute 5 left. Ryan Walsh, the junior quarterback, has had an outstanding evening. He has Aurora and Kirby in the backfield. He drops straight back, looking, firing. intended for Balistracci. The ball is deflected by Barnstable and nearly intercepted by the Red Raiders.
Well, that time they didn't roll him out. They decided instead to have him drop straight back, step up into the pocket, and look for Mark Balistracci downfield. So they're going to try to throw the ball downfield apparently and not roll him out like they've been doing the entire game so successfully.
And they don't have to go for these huge plays. There's still a minute left in this game, and they still have their timeouts remaining.
Walsh now 18 for 28 through the air.
The Whalers with a nice set. Here is Walsh, now rolling to his right, looking, firing to the sideline. It's complete. That's Tom Balistracci. He's out of bounds at the Barnstable 44-yard line. Ryan Walsh with the connection to the younger Balistracci brother.
That play only took 4 seconds off the clock.
17-yard pass completion and another first down for the Whalers. And more importantly, as you just said, John, he was able to get out of bounds and stop the clock with 52 seconds to play here in the contest. What an ending.
Mark Balistracci, wide left. Tom, wide right. Here is Walsh, rolling to his left, looking, firing for Balistracci. That's Mark off his hands at the 31-yard line. He was covered by Travis Glatke, who's back in the contest. A 2nd and 10 for New Bedford.
Well, that's 30 pass attempts now tonight for young Mr. Walsh, and he's done a great job. He's completed 19 of 30, and he is at right now 303 yards passing.
Wow. I like what John Seed's doing, Coach Seed's doing, is rolling Walsh out of the pocket, buying him a little bit more time, and it's something that he's had a lot of success with all night, and they're sticking with it.
The Whalers with a big 2nd and 10. From the Barnstable 44. Tight end right for the Whalers. Here's Walsh with the screen to Balistracci. Down the left sideline. Balistracci is kept in bounds at the 40-yard line. The officials are signaling a timeout. New Bedford with the timeout as the Whalers have the ball just inside the Barnstable 40-yard line with 38 seconds left in the contest.
That's going to come right down to the last play of the game, the way the Whalers are playing right now, and Walsh is just cool as a cucumber. You know, we've been wanting him to throw the football, and for the last couple of weeks talking about throw the football, air it out a little bit, you got nothing to lose, and he's airing it out tonight. 20 for 31, 307 yards, and 5 touchdown passes.
And the Balistracci brothers are the receivers for New Bedford. Here is Walsh. He's going to roll to his right, looking for Yates, the tight end. The ball was behind him. The coverage by Barnstable's number 43, Patrick Colborn.
Looked like Yates, I'm sorry, Joe, looked like Yates really wasn't expecting that ball. He didn't see it until the last moment.
Looked like a combination of things, John. The ball delivered a little too early and also behind Yates. And that leaves New Bedford with a 4th and 5. 35 seconds left, lots of time on the clock. New Bedford just needs to make sure that they get a first down.
Well, they've got to keep the football, and the primary receiver when he's been in trouble has been Mark Balistracci, number 12.
And he's flanked wide to the right. And here is Walsh going right back. He has Ariston Aurora wide open. He has it. He has a first down on the sideline. Aurora stayed in bounds, though. He's brought down at the 26. New Bedford signaling for a timeout immediately.
Well, the clock stopping with 27 seconds on the clock, and the official making it official as they call a timeout. But a great pass that time, a rollout by Walsh, rolling out to his right, and he had Mark Balistracci further downfield. I think the defense thought that's where he was going. He threw under the defense, if you will, to Ariston Aurora, the safety valve man coming out of the backfield for the first down.
Coach had actually sent both running backs to the right out of the backfield, and the linebackers just didn't know who to cover. Ariston left wide open, but a rookie mistake. You've got to get out of bounds on that play.
A well-conceived play by New Bedford, sending Mark Balistracci wide right. He clears the area by running a deep fly pattern, and then underneath, as Bernie mentioned, We see Ariston Aurora taking the little swing pass from Ryan Walsh. He has the first down, failed to step out of bounds, however, and New Bedford has the ball at the Barnstable 26-yard line with a 1st and 10 and 27 seconds remaining.
Well, they burn up a timeout, and that's the one thing I haven't been keeping track of here, guys. Is anybody aware of how many timeouts the Whalers have left here in this?
The kick